Hi, I'm getting ready to go to Worlds in Boston. And while I'm packing, I thought that it might be a good idea to share with you what exactly I pack for a skating event. So stay tuned and I'll show you. I have two packing lists, one for the arena and one for touring the area where I'll be. Let's look at the arena packing list first, as this is really the easiest. First, it's always cold in an arena. After all, a big section of it is ice and the support system to keep that ice solid, because mushy ice is horrible to skate on. The only thing that varies is how cold it is. I have found that arenas are colder at the start of the event and get slightly warmer as the days go by. Also, how close you are to the ice affects how cold you will be. Second, my legs are always colder than my upper body. I pack 3 heavy wool pants and I stay away from jeans for this reason, as they don't keep my legs warm enough. Also, think about your feet. Socks and sturdy shoes are important. Remember that you'll be going up and down concrete arena steps, which are not the place for heels. For my upper body, I dress in layers. I pack 2 heavy sweatshirts and 2 lighter long-sleeve shirts for a typical weekend event. I usually packed skating-themed shirts, and I always end up buying a souvenir skating shirt from the vendors. For this Worlds, I'm packing my Skate Canada and my Montreal Worlds sweatshirts to show my support for my Canadian friends. On the first day, I usually wear a sweatshirt and a winter jacket. If I feel warm, I can take off my jacket and drape it over my legs for extra warmth on them. This lets me gauge what to wear for the rest of the event. I usually do some sightseeing in whatever city I'm visiting, and my next packing list is geared towards that. For this, I check the weather report for the area and the general trends for this time of year. Usually, I'm going to Nationals in January and to the Grand Prix events in October, which are cooler times of the year. However, one year I was in Vegas in October, so that was much warmer than usual. And last year I was in Montreal at the end of March. They'd been having lovely spring weather, but that week there was a sudden snowstorm. If I am doing tourist things, it's usually in the morning, as skating events tend to start in the afternoon. So if the weather is warm, I'll usually pack 2 or 3 light shirts like t-shirts or a fancy top. If I end up needing more, I can always pick up souvenir shirts wherever I am. I generally end up wearing the same pants that I'm going to wear to the arena later, unless the weather looks like it'll be very warm. If I'm worried about that, I will pack a lighter pair of pants or jeans. Now, let's look at the extras that I pack. First, I pack my knee brace. Several years ago, I sprained my left knee quite badly. And then when I was in Nashville for Nationals several years ago, I stepped on an icy patch and twisted it again, and I didn't have my knee brace along with me. I had to have the Walgreens deliver a brace to my hotel so that I could walk around. And since then, I've always packed that brace just in case. Second, when I was in Vegas in October, the weather was lovely and my mornings were free, so I packed my swimsuit so that I could enjoy the outdoor pool. If you regularly work out and your hotel has an exercise room, consider packing workout clothes. I usually get enough of a workout by walking around the city. Another item I sometimes pack is a blanket or a seat cushion, depending on my luggage size. I've brought one or the other of these with me on occasion. And one thing nice about the blanket is that if I'm not cold, I can fold it up and use it as a cushion. And another item that I always pack is my travel first aid kit. You never know when you're going to need a Band-Aid or a nail clipper. Another extra that I pack is a small tote bag or a small clear purse, depending on the bag restrictions of the arena where I'm going to be going. These are handy for carrying little items like tissues and lip gloss and your wallet without having them stuffed into your pockets. In addition to these items, there's the usual socks and underwear and toiletries that I take when I'm traveling anywhere. And that's a look at what I pack when I'm going to a skating event. Next week's video will be all about Worlds in Boston, who's competing and who I think might make the podium. So subscribe so that you don't miss that. See you soon.